Hello, it's Bob Pandolfo on Sunday, August 4th, 2024. Quick Hambletonian Day wrap-up. I was there yesterday at the Meadowlands. They did a great job, got over $7 million in handle. The track played fairly. In fact, probably was a little tiring, which is good. That's what you want. There were a couple of downpours, including a heavy downpour as the Hambletonian just started in race number 12. Um, there were some big long shots that were pretty tough to come up with. But let's just look at a couple of the races. The Cane Pace and the Legendary Hanover went 146 and 2. This was really impressive. James McDonald really could have just sat in here. Captain's Quarters, retook the lead from Captain Luke. And Legendary Hanover could just, pulled out on the final turn and won the race. But I think McDonald probably was trying to get, some sort of a speed record. I think this was a 146 and 2 was a record for the Cane Pace. As you can see, 119.2 to the 3/4, very very strong performance by Legendary Hanover, who went 146 and 3, I believe, in his last start. Then you had some big upsets here, in the Muscle Hill, and Continental Victory, Swan Sets. That I had mentioned that these. Swanstead is good, in these big days, and he was again yesterday. This race, the sixth race, the 1 and 3 were two Swanstead horses that looked like they could improve, and they did. Oakwood Arden came through again. Relentless closer. I liked Act Fast here. He had no excuse. I put Oakwood Arden second, and that was in the preferred pace. This is interesting too. This horse won and paid $138.60. I'm going to see if I can post the link from the interview that Derek Geiner from the Harness I did with trainer Larry Staulbaum, because Larry had mentioned in this interview that how much he loves this horse, Rock and Roll Runa, who's this really good horse that he has. And it's funny because this horse, he puts this horse in these free for all races. This is the third time. He finished fifth in one of them, and so he did get a pretty good check because it was like a $440,000 race. I think it was the Brower. Let's see, I do have the program here, so let's just take a quick look at that race. Okay, let's see. Yeah, here he is. Rock and Roll Winner. Yeah, so you can see here that in the Brower, the Horton's the race at the time. He put him in the Brower, and he finished 8th at 94 to 1. Then he put him in the Horton, $428,000 purse, and he finished 5th. So he probably picked up like $30,000, for finishing 5th. So that's one of the reasons why you might run a horse in these tough races when the purse is big. But the thing is, Larry had a lot of confidence. He says, I think this horse could beat these top horses. And yesterday, he did. I mean, he got a dream trip with Mark McDonald. Congratulations to him. Came up the inside. The pace was hot. Ruthless Hanover won a really strong race. 29 to 1 was a really good price for this horse, Ruthless Hanover. He's a fast horse, but he got used to a 25 and 4, and really raced well. I mean, this was not a speed favoring track, so that was an exciting race. And congratulations to Larry Staulbaum. He believed in this horse, and that horse came through for him. Two obvious horses. I picked these first and second in the ninth race, the Vincennes. I thought Special Way had no excuse here. I thought after she went to the half in 57, I thought she'd win, but no. I mean, MN's Dream is a top class. Two favorites, in the Steel. Then Jiggy Jog, great mare. I thought South Centurion would get to the lead, but he got parked out, had a tough trip. So these were the two best horses, though, and they finished first and second. So then you come down to the Hambletonian. Now, I liked 6 Hour, and I put Carl second. 6 Hour really got, a bad trip in this race. I thought Andy would leave. He did. He got a trip sitting second behind TCI, but TCI tired right past, the 3/4. He started to weaken, and then he just, he only lost by 3 lengths. But the thing is, what happened was 6 Hour got trapped behind him, and he got shuffled in tight quarters, and Andy was, looking for room from the stretch, and he got blocked. If 6 Hour gets out, and doesn't get shuffled like this, he's either going to win the race or finish second. It would have been Carl and 6 Hour. It would have been either 8-1 or 1-8. 6 Hour, had a lot of trot, but I mean, Andy was just, going, weaving, looking for a spot inside, outside. He just, it's just one of those things. It looked like a good trip because you're sitting behind, the second choice in the race, but that's racing luck. Carl did what he has to do. And this was, Carl is, he is a really game horse. He's a fast horse. But this was, he's racing off the pace here. He usually goes to, quarter moves. He grinds. And here, he just kept coming on. And congratulations to Nancy Tacker. That's her second Hambletonian win in a row. And Yannick Gingras finally gets his Hambletonian. And I really like Yannick. He's a great driver. He's great with trotters. He's great for bettors. He tries hard all the time. He's one of my favorites. So, I was really happy to see him get his first Hambletonian. I think he's going to win more Hambletonians. He's still young, and he's a great driver, and he gets some of these, top Nancy Tacker horses, which, the Tacker barn, you got me between Tacker and Swanset. I don't know, who knows how many Hambletonians those two great trainers can win. So, another thing I wanted to mention, here's another Swanstead upset here in Hambletonian Oaks. This was a wild race too. I like the Legion, who went over 4-1. What was interesting here is Alyssa Hanover. I made Alyssa Hanover 2-1. She's a terrific filly. It's just that she only beat one good field, and that was in her last start. And this was, she should not have been even money in this race. It's just, it was a tough field. I made her co-favorites with Armelina. Armelina at 7-1 was an overlay in this race. By this time, though, with the sloppy track, I think the track was even more tiring, and the pace was fast here. Considering it was an off track. But Alyssa Hanover, even money was just an underlay in that race. I thought Allegiant at 4-1 was proper odds, and she raced well. And then, big race by twin Joe Beef. This horse is so fast. Silver Label was a nice overlay here. I figured Zero On would look for a ground-saving trip. I thought he had a chance at the price. But, I picked Twin Be Fresh to win. I picked it 7-3-1. Sylvia Hanover doesn't really like being on the lead, and, it was a sloppy track, fast-paced. The Twin Be Fresh, very fast horse. And the card ended with a couple of favorites. But, it was a terrific day of racing, even though I got soaked walking to my car on the way home. But I really enjoyed it. They did a great job, the Meadowlands, and I would watch, as these 3-year-old races go on the rest of the year. I think 6 Hour is going to keep improving. This is still a lightly raced horse, so maybe you might get some good matchups here between Carl and 6 Hour. And there are certainly a few, other horses that could improve too. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Remember to subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it, and lots of luck.